Hey, Joe here. Just finishing up my coffee. I'm going to get out in the garage and get some work done. Installing the Magnus mechanical fuel pump, you have to remove this dowel and install a longer one that goes through into the drive for the fuel pump. Fought at this thing with some pliers and vice grips and can't get that thing out of there. So now I'm pulling the whole camshaft out so I can work on it on the bench. So I got the camshaft over here with the dowel in my vise, and I'm gonna see if I can like twist and yank and get that thing out of there. Got it. Got that extended dowel in there now. We're ready to put this camshaft back in the motor. There's that new dowel compared to the stock dowel. I don't think that's the last time I'm going to have to deal with that dowel. What I have here is a Magnus Motorsports mechanical fuel pump kit. Consists of two major parts, the pump itself on the box on the left and the bracket on the right, most of which you can see there. The backing plate is already attached to the engine, which is installed in the car. I thought it'd be easier to put that on with the engine out of the car, but you could still put it in pretty easily with the engine in the car. This is a first for me, mechanical fuel pump. I've never used one before, but I have a good idea how it works. I've seen it on some friends' cars and things like that. So let me show you a brief overview of how this thing works. As you know, I've already installed the long dowel on the camshaft, the exhaust cam here. That's so that it not only can locate the cam gear here, but it also protrudes through into the fuel pump drive. The fuel pump drive is right here. The way this works is this comes apart in two pieces, and this end goes on the camshaft, and the bolt that holds the cam gear onto the camshaft goes through that piece and bolts on there. And there's a little spot for that dowel to come through and make sure it keeps this half of this coupler where it's supposed to be. So let me show you how that works. So this drive coupler has three pieces. There's the piece that goes on the pump, and there's the piece that goes on the end of the camshaft on top of the cam gear. And then there's this like plastic, rubbery, like isolation piece that goes in between the two. I assume it keeps noise down and things like that. It gives you a little bit of play in the adjustment, but let me show you how this goes. So there's your little notch for your dowel, which means this would line up right here. You put your bolt through right there. This piece here is going to go on the fuel pump, and then this in between. So let's start making it look like we're putting this together so we can see how this works. So these pieces are sort of like spacers. They go on the backing plate that's already on the engine, one on one side of one cam gear and one out here on the other side. And then this piece here goes across those pieces. This piece here is what mounts the pump to the bracket. So this piece sits in here, it's nicely machined, it fits right in where it's supposed to fit, and there's three bolt holes that you can see there that locate this piece in there. Something like this. That will go in there like that. All right, now we would need to get this pump out of here. So let's take a look at what we're working with. This nice packaging is pretty cool from Magnus. We got a little spec sheet here. 9.7 gallons per minute at a 4,500 pump RPM. Pretty cool. Tested by AR. That's not Marco. So underneath here, we have a box that I've probably managed to mangle a little bit. We have inlet outlet fittings for this pump, and right here is the pump. Take a look at that Magnus pump. Now, the cool thing about this pump is it's available with the inlet and outlet on opposite sides or on the same side. So depending on your configuration, how you want to route your lines, you can choose the pump. This is the inlet, and the other side's the outlet. I'm actually going to have to mount this pump upside down, like that, but it's going to work great. What happened next is this end of this coupler would go onto the pump, and then you would take this pump and mount it in there. Let's just go ahead and put this in there. Let me move this real quick so I can reach it. You know, this thing would go down in here like so, but we'll leave that out for now. Essentially, this just needs to go down in there like that. Our pump mount would go there, and our pump would go right in here. So that slide right in there like that, and then this cam gear spinning will drive this pump and pump fuel. Let's get this thing on the car. This is the hardware I have for this fuel pump setup. I recognize some of it, so I'll just start using it and make decisions on what I have left when I get to it. I'm going to start by installing these. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to start by installing this. I sort of saw this issue coming a mile away, and it's that this dowel is too long. You can see here, like, this drive will not sit flush against the cam gear because that dowel is too long for the depth of that notch there. So that's because my cam gears are really thin, being these titanium skunk gears. Like an AEM cam gear is significantly thicker, and probably it doesn't need any adjustment at all in order to fit here. But in my application, I'm going to need to cut some of this dowel down now. Well, here's how this is going to go. Alright, that's cut down now. I think I cut a little bit more off of that than I wanted to, but it should still do its job. Forget these. There's that, with almost enough dowel there to actually hold it in place, almost. I clean up and install this other cam gear while I'm at it. That intake cam gear is installed, and you can see that that dowel does not stick through at all. So, I mean, yeah. Now I'm going to put these pieces on with these screws. Looks like I can put this part on next. All right, that's installed. Things are really starting to get tight in here. All right, I can already see that I need to do some work here on this motor mount. There's not enough clearance to install this because of that piece of the motor mount there. It's not even in all the way. It fits kind of weird, so I'm gonna have to work on that. So this bracket was just raw billet aluminum, and I found a place locally that could anodize it, and they did a great job anodizing it black. I didn't bring this piece. Why? It was like wrapped up in the box. I didn't even realize that this was a piece of the kit. Like I said, I've never done this before. So I failed to bring this to get anodized. This needs to get anodized. Okay, I modified that motor mount bolt a little bit. Got it a bit farther out of the way, and got tightened up all the way in there where it needed to be tightened up. Now, I think we have plenty of room here. If I put that in where it goes, there's an actual gap down there, and I think I can work with this. So I have the other piece of the coupler in there with the little plastic, like, isolator thing or whatever that is. You can see it's right in there. And then if I'm careful, I can take this, and it goes right in there. I think that's good. I'm not sure that it's going in there far enough to catch that set screw and tighten this clamping area of this thing. I'll have to send some photos of this to some of my smart friends and see what they say. Seems like the pump hex that drives it, it goes through here. It seems like it goes through there and eventually hits this. So what I heard some others have done is just drill a hole in the middle of this, the size of that. So I'm going to do that. All right, well, I drilled it almost all the way through. That should be a huge increase in how far that pump goes in. I feel good about it bottoming out on this soft rubber thing, if anything. So we'll give this a try. A quick test, I guess, is to put this in this way, see how far it goes in, and then flip this thing around and see how far it goes in. All right, that's with it this way. And that's after flipping it around to the drilled side. I think that'll help. Let's see how far it goes in now. Oh, yeah, that's significantly farther. I would say that's a successful mock-up. We got plenty of room between that motor mount and that pump. And the pump goes into the clamp pretty far there. Looking good. So that's just going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the bell so you get notified when my videos come out. Check me out on Instagram. I'm going to try to be more active there. So go there, follow me. Maybe see some secrets on there or whatever. But I hope you enjoy what you're seeing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Put cheese on it.